And he is going to lose yardage here. Now the Dolphins are going to halt the action here. It's a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter.
50.
And the D-line pinching together, must be expecting the run. Fighting for the end zone. He lost the football. It's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Romo now to throw. Jason Witten, the intended target. And it's 4th and 3. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to perhaps salt this one away. And Bailey able to knock it through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So a big one there as that gives them a little cushion.
And you know, here in the fourth quarter, the fact that they were able to bleed some time off the clock and put points on the board, even if it's only 3, that could turn out to be the drive that ultimately wins them the game.
And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I can hear my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
A good start there on 1st down. They've got to have this drive.
No doubt about it. Down a couple of scores. They have to find a way to put it in the end zone. Chunk plays, explosive plays. That will be the key to this drive.
Tannehill. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 7 yards on the play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Partner, it's a lot of fun watching the NFL now, isn't it? Because when the big fella runs routes, it used to be when we were kids, he'd run about 3 different routes, and that was it. Now he can run anything and catch the ball, as we just saw there.
Over the middle and into the hands of his receiver, Landry. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. And the offense moving quickly to the line. On 1st down, Tannehill. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he'll go down at the 28. Call it a pickup of 7, and it's a 2nd down. Throwing again is Tannehill. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. Now it's Tannehill. And got his tight end, Duarte. And he is out of bounds, but not before taking this down to the 8. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives him a 1st and goal.
I know exactly what's going to be said about that play from the defensive perspective.
What's that?
That's why I tell all you guys we need more than one tackler to the ball. He broke the first tackle. Luckily enough, there were more people there to get him down.
And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
After all the preparation, all the practice, a play like that will absolutely break your heart. They had everything they wanted, just unable to complete it. In the end zone, a big-time drop.
And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet.
And they put it in the end zone, which was job 1. Now they have to convert. And then it's decision time, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is what all teams go through. You look at the clock, you're inside 2 minutes, look at your timeouts, make that onside kick decision.
Yeah, how do you feel about your defense, where you are in terms of the scoreboard, and the time left on the clock, as you noted? So many things to go through. Well, partner, since this new 2-point rule came into play, offenses spend a lot more time working on it. That means the defenses are doing the exact same thing.
And now a timeout called by the Cowboys defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. to recover. And now looking at the clock here, they do have 2 timeouts, but even if they force a 3 and out, they're going to have very little time remaining.
So that means they've got to be aggressive and find a way to knock the ball free. They've got to come up with it because they can't just rely, as you noted, on using their timeouts and getting the ball back. They might not have any time to mount an attack, even if they do play it that way. Get the football. That's their mantra.
They go back to Elliott. He's been busy. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Now the Dolphins are going to take another timeout here. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And on 2nd and 10 now. Romo going to throw it. They'll set up the screen to Elliott. And that play goes nowhere. Taken down, losing yardage at the 50, right at midfield. Now that screen there on 2nd down certainly didn't develop how they had hoped. Is that one they should have even tried, or is that one the quarterback sticks in his pocket?
I think the latter. I like what you said there, because trying is one thing. We can second-guess just about every call. But in this case, when you realize that it's broken down, just throw it at the feet of your intended receiver so that no one can pick it off, right? You don't have the ball tipped up in the air, and you come back and try and pick up the 1st down on 3rd down. That way you don't lose any yardage.
Out now comes the Cowboys punter, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. And the Dolphins getting set to go here. They're down here in a 1-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
They have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. He'll look to throw. And over the middle, this is Parker. 20, 10, 5, and all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Devontae Parker with now 2 4th-quarter touchdowns. And the Dolphins have taken the lead here in the 4th. Now an important extra point here to stretch this lead to a field goal. He's got it, and this is indeed up to a 3-point lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Whitehead, the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. And now here come the Cowboys. They're only in need of a field goal, a decent amount of time on the clock. So tell me if I'm wrong. You don't have to be too panicked here.
No, not at all. I agree with you. And this is where your preparation and your confidence comes into play. They've worked on these situations.
Yeah, they practice this all the time.
They practice it all the time. They know what they want to get done. And in a lot of cases, the great competitors, they love this situation. They think they can go ahead and get it done.
They practiced it. We'll see if practice makes perfect. One man in the backfield, Elliott. Back to throw. And incomplete. The man with over 1,000 catches, Jason Witten, the intended receiver. And it's 2nd down.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. Call it a 3-yard gain. And they're going to face a 3rd down.
So many things have to come together just right for a screen pass to break for big yardage. The blocking, the timing of the pass to the runner, everything has to fit together just right. But on that play, the defense was able to disrupt things and hold it to a short gain.
So 3rd and 7 and an extra defensive back on the field here.
Definitely want to play coverage here.
The Cowboys' all-time receptions leader, Jason Witten, the intended target. And now it's 4th down.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
He's back to throw. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. They have the 3-point lead. Defense did their job. Now, late game, although it looks good, you know the coaches, they haven't counted this as a victory yet.
I agree with you totally. Big applause for the defense, but no one is taking.
And now the Cowboys are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Victory very likely now for the Dolphins as they take a knee here. So now one of the biggest kicks of the night is forthcoming. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. Tannehill to a knee, and that ought to be the final act of this ball game. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from Big D.